Hi everyone, I'm Dawn from Creative Appliques. Welcome to my channel. On this channel, we talk all things machine embroidery and give you some tips and tricks on how to make it fun and more enjoyable. We also talk about craft room organization. If you're a subscriber, welcome back. Thank you so much for joining me. And if you're new here, please consider subscribing and click the bell down below to be notified when I upload new content. In today's video, we're going to talk about a little craft room organization. One of the things that embroiderers have are lots and lots of different types of stabilizer. We have tearaway, we have cutaway, we have washaway, we have sticky, and then we have different weights of all of those. So when you have all your rolls in a drawer or in a basket or hanging on a door or on a pegboard, how do you know which one is which? How do you know which one is fusible and which one is mesh and which one is washaway and which one is cutaway? Well, today we have a fun project for you that is going to help you keep your rolls of stabilizer all tightened up and organized. So if this sounds intriguing, stay tuned. As embroiderers, what do we love to do? We love to sew, and anything that can make the process simpler and easier and faster is always better. So we've come up with a way to organize our rolls of stabilizer to make it easier for you when you're about to start a project to just grab the one that you need and to be able to use it and start stitching. So one of the things that we came up with was a system to organize your rolls. And if you have a roll of stabilizer, you can also take these snap wrist bracelets and hold the stabilizer along with any information that the stabilizer may have. So let's show you what comes with this file. We have 8 different tearaway ones. Tearaway, tearaway light, tearaway medium, heavy, sticky, iron-on, and iron-on heavy. Those are all the tearaway ones that come with it. There are 5 miscellaneous ones: iron-on, heat dissolved topper, stitch seal iron-on, backing, and then soft backing. We have 6 cutaway, regular cutaway, cutaway light, cutaway medium, cutaway heavy, iron-on, and cutaway mesh. And then we have our water soluble or washaway. So we have regular washaway, washaway heavy, washaway topper, washaway sticky, and washaway woven. Now these files all come with the lettering on them sequenced in the correct order for being able to just stick it on your machine and stitch it out. But what about, an odd type of stabilizer that you have, or a stabilizer that you may not may be specific to a name brand? Well, we have included a blank file as well, so you can put in your own lettering for the blank file. Another really cool thing you could do with these two is if a child is having a party and you want to make personalized bracelets for them, you can use the blank file for that. So these designs will only fit in the 6x10 hoop because the length of this, the width of this, or the height is about 9 inches. So it will only fit in the 6x10 hoop. So this is a great way to keep yourself organized. What I ended up doing is I ended up creating all the tearaway in one color so that when I look really quickly and I'm looking for a tearaway stabilizer, I can just look for the pink. For washaway, I used the blue because it reminded me of water, but for all the blue washaway toppers or stabilizers, I know that they're blue. For cutaway, I chose green. This way, whenever I'm looking for a cutaway, I know that it's going to be one of the green ones that I have. And then for the miscellaneous ones, the iron-ons and backings and heat dissolve, I chose orange. So by color coding your type of stabilizers you're using, it makes it easy to be able to just quickly grab the stabilizer that you need in the correct form for what you're sewing on. Okay, we're going to talk about the supplies that you're going to need. So for the top here, I used marine vinyl. You can find this on the rolls in Joann at the back where they have all the upholstery fabric and heavy duty fabrics. So this is marine vinyl. You can also find places online that have it, but you want to make sure that you have, if you're going to buy it in sheets, you're going to want to make sure the sheet's at least 10 inches so that you have enough for the length of the snap bracelet. So you can use marine vinyl on top. You can also use, if you wish, fabric that is treated with Heat and Bond Light on the back of it. That will help it keep it from fraying. I would just encourage that you use the vinyl because it's going to last longer. For the back, I used felt. I like the felt because I feel it doesn't slip as much on the stabilizers, on the rolls of stabilizers, and it gives it a little bit more friction, and so it doesn't slide around so much. So again, the felt will need to be in sheets of at least 10 inches. You could also use, if you want, this Ollie Fun stuff. That's kind of a fabric that you can buy these in huge packs from Amazon, but I prefer the felt because it gives a little more stability. As far as stabilizers is concerned, you can use a cutaway. I like to use the poly mesh like this because it's a little thinner, and when you start getting into a thicker cutaway, it's going to add a lot more bulk in here, and you want it to be able, you want this slap bracelet to be able to curl and have some tension to be able to hold the roll of stabilizer. So cutaway you can use. This is poly mesh that I have. You can use tearaway as well if you want. It's just going to end up staying inside the bracelet in the end. So you're going to need a 6x10 hoop. This cannot be done in any smaller hoop than 6x10. It can be done in larger, but it cannot be done in smaller than 6x10. So for the slap wrist bracelets, this is very important information that you need to be aware of. I will include a link in the description with all of these supplies to the Amazon store where I bought this stuff from, but you want to be aware that in case those links don't work, it's very specific, the width and the length of these bracelets in order to fit within the design. So there are two different types I did find, and they both work, but I like the silicone ones better. I will show you the difference in the two that I did. So the red one here was just a trial, and I ended up cutting it open. But this is the silicone. I did it all in felt. Felt on the top and felt on the bottom, and I didn't like it, so I changed to the vinyl. Vinyl on top, felt on the bottom. The blue one here is this white one, and it has a plastic coating on it, but the bracelet itself, the metal is just not as strong as the silicone ones. The silicone ones are much stronger. They have a much firmer grip. The metal inside these white ones, though they do work, is just not as strong as the silicone ones are. And it's something that you know, you can't really see it very well on the video, but as far as me feeling it, it's much stronger. So for the dimensions that you need for these slap wrist bracelets in order to fit, because this is only one size that the design comes in, and what you need is 8.46 inches long by 0.98 inches wide. So less than an inch in width and about 8.46 inches long. And as I said, I will include the link. You can buy a pack. I bought a pack of 20 and had to buy 2 packs. You can buy a pack of 26, and there are 25 design files in this product. So if you're doing them all individually or I have them grouped, you can get 1 pack of 26 and it will cover all of the specific different ones that we have. So again, this is 8.46 inches by 0.98 inches. The white ones here that I have that don't have the strong grip on them, they are actually 8.46 inches by 1.18 inches, it says. And you can tell they are a little bit wider. Some of the width that is part of the white ones here is this plastic cover. I'm going to cut that off so you can see it. Actually, when I did make this blue one here, I did remove it from this silicone. But that's pretty funny. It's actually, you know, a cut up measuring tape, measuring roll tape. So you can see how this, if you know what a measuring tape like this is, then you will know what the width of this is. You'll understand the width of this and how thin it is. With the silicone ones, because there is that silicone coating covering on it, it's much stronger, much more stable and steadier. So they are about the same width, if you can see here, because when looking at it, and actually the yellow one, the one with the white covering on it, is a little shorter. It does fit in this design because both of these are the same exact design. One has the silicone and then one has the measuring tape on the inside of it. So now we have our stabilizer hooped and our 6x10 hoop, and we are going to go to the machine and we are going to go step by step through this process. So I have the design loaded to the machine and the hoop here, so we're going to stitch the first step. So for this demonstration, I'm just doing a blank one, but if you were doing any of the other ones right now at this step here, the words would stitch. So whichever design you put on that has the words included, the words would now stitch at this section. So what this is going to now stitch is it's going to stitch the front and the back together. So you're also going to need to put the back on the bottom as well at this point in time. So to do that, it's the same process. We just remove the hoop from the machine, being careful not to disrupt the registration of the arm there. And we will place the felt to cover the stitching. Okay, so whatever you have on the back here, you want to have, if you are using something with a pattern or something, you want to make sure the right side is up and the wrong side is against the stabilizer. So now we turn it over, make sure that we have both pieces. Put the hoop back on the machine. I'm going to double check underneath to make sure that the under part of the hoop. Nothing is twisted or curled or folded over. And now we're going to stitch the outline around which will be where the slap bracelet will be placed. Okay, now we're going to slide in the slap bracelet here. So we're going to remove the hoop from the machine, peel away the tape, you can leave the tape on there if you want, but for now I'm just going to remove it. So if you had sewed words on here, that would have sewed in a separate step. That would have sewed before this step, then we would have put the back on and then sewed around here. Because the top would have had stitching in it and would have attached it to the stabilizer, you will not be able to slide the slap bracelet in from the top. You're going to need to do it from the bottom. So we're going to turn it over. We will untape the bottom part that is not sewed. So we have the bracelet here. This is a very important step right now. We are coming from the underneath side, between the felt and the stabilizer. It is very important to be aware of which way the bracelet is going to curl so that you make sure you have it put in there correctly and is not going to curl up the opposite way. So you want to make sure that you see which way the bracelet will curl first before you put it in there. So this is the way we want it to curl. We want it to curl up like this, because then that way on this side we'll have the words that we need to see when we have it wrapped around our stabilizer rolls. So have it wrapped this way, okay? That is the way it's going to go in. So right now we have the underside of the hoop up here. This is the back of the hoop with the felt. The front has the vinyl, and we want our slap bracelet to be slid in, curling up towards us, up towards the machine, not down towards the hoop. So now I'm just going to gently slide it in there, being very careful not to disturb the stabilizer and move it out of the way or move it within the hoop. So now another important point to be aware of here is where the bracelet is. So if you can see right there, so if you can see right here, you can see the stitching. What you need to make sure is that you've pushed it in far enough up and is not at an angle in any way. So it is going to be between that stitching there. That way you can guarantee it's going to be out of the way of the needle. So if for some reason you bought slap bracelets and you've pushed it up as far as you can in here and bumped it up here and it's over the stitching, hanging over the stitching, do not sew. They are not the right size, and you will damage your needle and possibly your machine. So make sure that when you put it in there, it is far out of the way of this stitching here. So now we're going to turn the hoop over. Put it back on. And now you can see under here, underneath the stabilizer, underneath the stitching, it is well out of the way of where it's going to stitch, because where we're going to stitch right now is right on top of this, on top of the vinyl, sealing shut, closing up, and stitching up the vinyl and the felt. This is the last step for sewing. Okay, that's all finished, and I'll meet you back at the cutting table. Okay, so now we're going to remove it from the hoop. And I like to use my quilting rulers and my rotary cutters. And what I do is I take it and I don't use the 1/4 inch here. I use the 1/8, and I match that up along the stitching line. And then I press down towards the side to get through all of those layers, and even still it didn't cut it all the way. So you can go back in with scissors and get that, because sometimes it's a lot to get through with the snap bracelet in here, and to get past all of that depth. You can leave as much around the edge as you want. I mean, this is just my personal preference. I like to have it kind of close. That one cut through. And I know it's all wrong. You're not supposed to be using it like a pizza cutter, but sometimes when there's all this depth and thickness going on, sometimes you just gotta go back and forth. See, some of it still didn't get cut. And now for the last one. And I think I will just do it again to get the rest of that felt off of there. Just doesn't want to go. Okay. And now I'm going to use my scissors, and I'm going to trim around this. Remember, always move your project, never your scissors. I don't know about you all, but I just take forever to cut these things because it doesn't look exactly right. I have to keep fixing it, and now that's a little long there, and honestly, who's going to see it? Because it's going to be all wrapped around your stabilizer. You can find the links to all this stuff. It's going to be down in the description. It will take you to my Amazon store, and you'll look for In the Hoop supplies. It's where this will be vinyl and felt and all the things. So can trim these up here. And now get my stabilizer, and there you go. And when it has the words on it, you will know which one it is when you have it in a drawer or standing up or anywhere. You'll be able to look and find your stabilizer very quickly and easily. I hope you enjoyed this video today, guys. If you did, please give me a thumbs up and be sure to subscribe to my channel and click the bell to be notified when I upload new content. Thanks for joining me today, and until next time, make your life creative.